Welcome back to the channel, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. I figured to do another Star Trail video. I have done one video already, but I'm not very happy with it. So I was thinking, yesterday was a nice weather outside, so I went off for a little drive to see the three bridges in Scotland. It's like just outside Edinburgh. And since the sky was clear and there are like light beams going up from the bridges, it looks really cool. So I was thinking maybe I could do a Star Trail, and since it's quite far off from the viewpoint itself, I was using actually the Viltrox 85mm lens. If something's out of focus, don't blame the lens or the camera. In fact, I was focusing manually. So these are all the images I took. So it should be 345 because the first file was off a little bit. So I'm just gonna go quickly through how I will edit this, and straight away there's gonna be a little issue because this bit here you can see is slightly blown out, and if I bring down the highlights, it introduces kind of a lot of I guess you can say fringing, aberration and stuff like that. That's obviously when things are not properly in focus and there's a high contrast area, that's what you get. And not very high-tech solution. What I figured was just to go over these bits with the brush tool like so, and we're just gonna decrease the saturation in those spots altogether, even if it's gonna be almost colorless. Let's just bring it down. That's maybe a bit too much. Let's do minus something like 40 or something. And if we bring down the highlights now, it's considerably better. Let's say that. We're gonna bring out some shadows. We're gonna punch up the clarity. You can see the light streaks a bit more. We're gonna use the gradual filter from the top, maybe not so bright, maybe a little bit brighter. Gonna crank up some whites and a bit more clarity because I love clarity. And we're gonna punch in a little bit of vibrance maybe, and we're gonna leave the shadows as they are, like in here in this image in particular, because in one of the images there was cars driving past, so they kind of lit up the kind of bottom bit of the image with their rear lights, with brake lights, so it's gonna give a nice kind of red contrasty bit on the bottom that you're gonna see later on. And we're just gonna do maybe a little bit of a noise reduction like so. So I'd say this would be the image. Not major change, so you basically go to library, select all the images, click on the one you edited, so that you can see it's highlighted like twice. Go down here, click sync settings, check all, click synchronize. And then when you're gonna go to the export settings, make sure in the export settings it says whatever it says here, custom name it says sequence, because we're gonna need a sequence. No, actually that's for time-lapse. If you do time-lapse, then you're gonna need sequence. For a Star Trail, you're not going to. So I'm not gonna do this right now because I have already exported these, I have already edited and exported these. I just need to find them now. So here's the folder that I edited earlier. We can have a quick look how I edited them before. So they basically look something like that. You can see the streaks, and maybe I've done a bit more sharpening and maybe a bit more saturation just to kind of make a dramatic scene, because Star Trails are all about being dramatic. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna select the 345 images here, and we're gonna drop them right straight into the StaX. It gives you kind of noisy preview. Don't worry about that, it's gonna be fine once you save the image. And you can see all the images here nicely selected, and you're just gonna go and click this button number 4, start processing, and it's gonna start processing right now, and you'll see how the trails are gonna appear just up here and on the screen. And we're just gonna quickly kind of time lapse this through because this is gonna take some 2-3 minutes from now on. That's why you always mute your phone so it doesn't interfere with video recording. Right, so the software ran through the preview. As I said, it looks rather kind of cringy. Yeah, it does look like that in this software. And the button you press to save is the third button, not the fourth button, and you could just choose a desktop. I can see I've done a few already, and just click save. But we're gonna drag this image that we just ran through the StaX into the Lightroom again, because obviously you can always tweak your image 17 times. And on this occasion here, I would like to bring down the highlights a little bit, because the bridges are quite blown out, actually all the way down. And this is what I was talking about. Down here are bushes, obviously because it's 85mm, it's all kind of bokeh and everything. So we're just gonna make this bottom bit slightly darker, because I think it's a bit distracting, so bright, and just doesn't fit very well. And we're just gonna bring down some blacks maybe, or shadows as well, and we're just gonna leave it something like that. And this is pretty much gonna be our finished image. We can maybe crank up a bit more clarity and maybe bring up the white, so you can really see the streaks, and you can see the image looks much better than it was in the initial preview. And then you save it as you want, and you got your image ready and done. So that's how you make star trails. I think it was a pretty cool place to go. A pretty lucky night that it was clear here in Scotland. And if you found this video in any way useful, then make sure you click like. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe to my channel as well. I'm doing tutorials and different vlogging and filming and editing stuff on my channel here. If you have any specific questions about this whole workflow, and maybe I didn't explain something good enough, then just make sure you ask me down in the comments below. And this is where I'll leave you guys. Thank you very much for watching, and yeah, check around for more of my videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.